Have you ever worked hard, only to see everything disappear? Have you ever felt empty, even when you had everything you thought you wanted? Do you know what it feels like to chase pleasure and lose peace instead? If you've ever felt lost, tired, or ashamed of your past, this story is for you. Because sometimes losing everything is what helps us see what truly matters. Once upon a time, in a small town near the sea, lived a young man named Martin. He was 27 years old, full of dreams and loved by his friends. He worked as a motorcycle mechanic. His hands were always oily, but his smile was bright. Martin had one dream: to become successful and live a free life. He wanted to escape the small town and show everyone that he could make it big. Every day he worked hard. He fixed engines, saved every coin, and told himself, "One day I'll enjoy life. One day I'll be happy." But when the money came, he didn't know what to do with it. While others invested, Martin spent. While others planned, Martin partied. While others rested, he chased fun. At first, the people in the town admired him. They said, "Martin is lucky, he's living the dream." But soon, their smiles turned into whispers. They saw him walking home late at night, tired, empty, and broke again. Months passed. Martin's pocket grew light and his heart grew heavy. He started borrowing money to keep his fast life going. He bought clothes he didn't need and food he couldn't finish. Every morning he told himself, "Just one more week of fun, then I'll stop." But the week never ended. One evening, Martin sat by the beach. The sun was going down, painting the sky orange. He looked at the waves and felt something break inside him. He had only a few coins left in his wallet. That's when an old fisherman named Rashid sat beside him. Rashid was known in the village for his wisdom and quiet strength. He looked at Martin and said softly, "You look lost, son." Martin sighed. "I worked hard, Uncle Rashid. I had money, but it's all gone. I don't even know where it went." The old man nodded. "Money is like water," he said. "If your hands are open, it flows away. But if your hands are trained, it can fill a pot." Martin frowned. "What do you mean?" Rashid picked up 2 seashells and placed them on the sand. "Inside every man," he said, "there are 2 voices. One that says, 'Enjoy today,' and one that whispers, 'Prepare for tomorrow.' The one you feed becomes your master." Martin stared at the shells. The sound of the sea mixed with the old man's voice. He didn't say a word. When Rashid stood to leave, he said one last thing. "Discipline is not a cage, Martin. It's a key." Martin watched him walk away, his words echoing in his heart. That night, Martin couldn't sleep. He kept thinking about the 2 voices inside him, pleasure and purpose. For the first time, he understood that his freedom was an illusion. He whispered to himself, "I have been a slave to comfort. I thought I was free, but I was trapped." The next morning, Martin made a decision. He sold the few things he didn't need. He went back to work, quietly, humbly. At first, people laughed. They said, "Martin has changed, he's boring now." But Martin didn't reply. He kept working. Days passed, weeks went by. Slowly, his life began to change. He started saving again, not for parties, but for peace. He learned to find joy in small things: a clean workshop, a fixed bike, a good night's sleep. He stopped chasing people and started chasing progress. 3 months later, Rashid came by his shop. He saw Martin working with focus and calm. The old man smiled. "So which voice did you feed?" he asked. Martin smiled back. "The one that tells me to build, not burn." Rashid nodded. "Good. Then one day others will learn from your story." It wasn't easy. Some nights, Martin still felt temptation. He still missed the noise and excitement, but he reminded himself, "Discipline feels hard now, but it saves you later." And that simple truth became his strength. Years passed. Martin opened his own garage, small but respected. He trained younger boys from the town, teaching them both skill and wisdom. One day, a young worker asked him, "Sir, how did you learn to stay calm when life gets hard?" Martin smiled and said, "I once lost everything because I couldn't control myself. I thought happiness was pleasure. Now I know happiness is peace." The same people who once laughed now respected him. He became known not just for fixing bikes, but for fixing minds. Sometimes, Martin would still sit by the beach and watch the sunset. He would remember the boy who wasted everything and the man who learned discipline. He would whisper softly, "Thank you, Uncle Rashid. You gave me the key." And in that golden light, he finally felt free. Dear friend, each of us has two voices inside. One that wants comfort now, and one that wants growth later. The voice you feed will decide your future. Maybe you've lost money, time, or love. Maybe you've made mistakes like Martin. But remember this: discipline is not punishment. It is love for your future self. Start today. Write your goals. Save your energy. Choose peace over pleasure. Because the longer you wait, the harder it becomes to start again. Water your ambition with patience, and soon your life will bloom in ways you never imagined. If this story touched your heart, give it a like and share it with someone who needs hope. Subscribe to this channel for more simple stories that grow your mind and your language together. Thank you for spending this moment with me. Keep your mind strong, your heart calm, and your path steady. See you in the next story.